Everybody, welcome back to Steel City live after a couple day absence. I needed a reset, my friends. I needed to just walk away for a second because it was becoming like my job for a second there, and that's not what this is about. This is
Like
about
my
fun. Hold
job for
on.
a second there, and that's not what this is.
Hold on. Let me turn that off. But yeah, it was becoming like my job for a second, and I didn't want to do that. And the reason being, it wasn't because I didn't like coming on here or something. It was just the after a loss for the Pittsburgh Steelers, it's like the world collapses. Everybody is so ultra negative and just crazy over it. And that's just not what it needed to be. This is the NFL, friends. Every week is a challenge in the NFL. Yeah, the Browns were a very shitty football team in terms of NFL speak. Yes, they're shitty. There's no doubt about that. That's why they have 3 losses. But in the NFL, the term any given Sunday is so accurate, guys. And that is just the life you live as an NFL fan. This isn't college to where an upset happens once every couple years for a team or something. Once every few years, sometimes once every decade happens for one of these big name schools that win all the time. This is professional sports. You will lose. There are times that you are going to lose. You are going to lose typically 3 to 5 games for good football teams each and every season. That's the way it goes. It is what it is. And again, everybody wants to act like they know every little thing about what is going wrong with the football team. And I'm not talking about our community, guys. I'm talking about like the big national brands and all these media people. They want to act like they know exactly what went wrong with this football team, exactly what happened. This is what happened. The Steelers need to fix X, Y, and Z. That's all it is. Blah, 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 blah. Well, guess what? There's a lot of variables that are involved in this. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about, most of these people. Most of these people don't. And you just got to breathe for a second. You got to take a step back and breathe and realize that this football team is 8-3. And again, I always say this, and I want to remind people, if you would have said this when they were in Latrobe, Pennsylvania, that at this point in the season, after 12 weeks of the NFL season, that your football team would be 8-3, you would have said, I'll take it. You would have said that. Everybody would have said that. I'll take it. That's a damn good record. So what who they lose to? So what they lost to the Cowboys? So what they lost to the Browns? So what? So what they lost to the Colts? So what? Look who they beat. They beat the Washington Commanders. They've beaten the Baltimore Ravens. I'm just saying, everybody wants to crown the goddamn Ravens, man. Everybody wants to say the Ravens are what? Super Bowl contenders behind Lamar Jackson, don't they? Who beat that team? I don't care if they scored a touchdown or not. In the NFL, you find ways to win. That's how you get it done. And I'm sorry I'm on a rant, guys. Hold on, let me fix my light. I'm sorry I'm on a rant, but it had to be done. It has to be done. Because us here in this community got to realize what? The truth. And understand the truth of what is going on in an NFL season. And that is highs and lows, and you will have losses. Things don't work out the way you want them to all the damn time. And sometimes you just got to walk away from these crazy people that act like the world is collapsing every time there's a loss by this football team. Sometimes you just got to take a step back. And that's what I did for the last 2 days, guys. Friday, Saturday, couldn't do it, man. Couldn't do it. Couldn't bring myself to do it. I didn't want it to be like my job. I want to have fun. That's what I'm doing with you guys. I have fun with you guys. You guys bring me joy, and that's what I like to do. Let's get to the chat here, and I see Miss Pittsburgh in the house. What's up, Miss Pittsburgh? Roberta Campbell in the house. Happy holidays to you too, Roberta. Happy holidays to Miss Pittsburgh. Happy holidays to all of you guys, actually. Tylen Burnett, some of my family is Steelers fans. Roberta, they are actually sitting there waiting for the mistakes to happen to the Steelers so they can knock them down. Yeah, and that's not the world in which I want to live. I don't want to live in that world. I understand that there are so many variables at play into a football game. And I'm not making excuses for the Steelers because they shouldn't have lost that football game. They should have dog walked the Cleveland Browns. And they did, guys, set themselves back up. This football team, if you want to take some highs out of that game, they clawed their way back in it. They were back in that game. They were actually in the damn lead. But they weren't able to get that stop. That's the second time this season that I noticed that the defense didn't get that stop. But that's okay. It happens. They got the stop against the Ratbirds on Sunday. They played a highly emotional game against the team that everybody wants to crown the Super Bowl champions and crown their quarterback as the MVP. That doesn't impress me much. I'm just saying. But the minute you lose to somebody that maybe you shouldn't, it's just the world is coming down on everybody, man. What's up, Adelia? TD, what's up, man? Good to see you. Thank you for subscribing, Adelia. Appreciate it, Adelia Lopez. Appreciate it for subscribing. Robert Road in the house. What's up, man? I've calmed down a little bit, but I was angry watching the stinker against the Stains. Yeah, me too, Robert. Me too. I was fired up. I'm yelling at the TV. I'm flipping out, man. I was pissed. And I had to let it go, man. I had to let it go, Robert, just like you. Calm down a little bit. Calm it down a little bit. Get back into this. Now we're back. We're talking football again. It's a new week. The NFL week here has went, and we're going to see if that Baltimore Ravens team can take a loss tonight. I believe they play the Chargers. You got to put English in there, whoever that was that commented. I have no clue what you're saying, and I can't read backwards, so sorry. Mel Mills, my take has been that if you had to pick a game to lose, this is one. Browns are going nowhere. We are still in the first in the division. Highsmith's coming back soon. Black and gold. Black and gold till I'm older than old. Amen. I love that one, Mel Mills. And I agree with you, my friend. I agree with you. If you're going to lose to somebody in the division. It is what it is. It's cool, whatever. And the Browns, what? They're 3-8. Who gives a shit? If I don't care. They ain't going nowhere. I woke up Friday morning knowing this, my friends. That the Cleveland Browns are still going to be sitting at home come playoff time. And the Pittsburgh Steelers will be playing come playoff time. And that's all I need to know. That's all that makes it feel better for me. I'm good with that. All I need to know is the Pittsburgh Steelers beat these so-called teams that were so much better than them that they weren't supposed to beat, but they beat them anyway. They've achieved an 8-3 record. What more do you want from this football team? You're gonna lose games. It's the freaking NFL. It's the NFL. Hell, the Chiefs should have lost at 8 to the Carolina Panthers, and they almost did it. And that is a bad football team. Not just kind of bad. They are super bad, my friends. Bad of bad. The worst of the worst. And they almost lost, and the Chiefs are the immortal ones, correct? All right, guys, double tap that screen. Hit that like button for us here on Steel City Live, your home for Pittsburgh Steelers sports news and analysis. We truly, truly appreciate it as we continue to roll through the night. Roberta Campbell, tomorrow night they play. Oh, Monday night, Roberta. Okay, I'll be watching that one. Miss Pittsburgh says, yeah, Monday night they play the Chargers. The two brothers going toe-to-toe. Yeah, the Harbaugh girls, they're going toe-to-toe, man. The Harbaugh girls, they got a big matchup. The Twins, they're getting at it this week. Douglas Ball, what's up? Good to have you back. Jay, bounce back game against the Bengals. Yeah, guys, and I'm going to be comfortable saying this. And I'm not backing down from this. I know I said they should have beat or that they were going to beat the Browns. But I also said to you this. Don't be surprised if they lose that football game considering Mike Tomlin's Thursday night record. And that is no slight at Mike Tomlin. That is a difficult thing to prepare for, my guys and girls. It's very difficult to prepare for a Thursday night football game. And everybody will say, well, the Browns had to do it too. They didn't play a significant game on Sunday, a game that meant so much. Probably the biggest rivalry in the NFL, the best game in the NFL all week, the hardest matchup in the NFL. And tell me I'm wrong about that. Because guess what? That whole week, everybody said the Baltimore Ravens were going to dog walk the Pittsburgh Steelers, didn't they? Am I right or am I wrong? Did they not say that? The Super Bowl champ Baltimore Ravens that can't win anything significant behind Lamar Jackson. But am I wrong? Am I wrong or am I right? I'm just asking. Challenger says, I'll never accept losing to Cleveland. You don't have to accept it, Challenger. You just can't act like the world is ending. You can't. It is what it is. And guess what? When those Browns fans say anything to you, be like, bro, look at them real serious and be like, bro, you're 3-8. Your football team is 3-8 and falling apart at the seams. That's all I'd say. And be like, hey, come playoff time, let me know if you want to come over to the house and watch my football team win and play significant late season football. Come on over and we'll talk about it. That's what I would say. That would chap their ass more than anything. Roberta says, did anyone see where AB said, Roberta, I'm the same as Mike Tomlin. I ain't even entertaining that. And I did see that, Roberta, but thank you for bringing it up. Yeah, I did see that, and I don't blame Mike Tomlin for walking off because, guys, it's like the dumbest shit, man. And I don't blame Mike Tomlin for saying, you know what, guys, I got more important things to worry about. And I applaud Mike Tomlin for that. Because why? He just came off a divisional loss on Thursday Night Football with his football team sitting 8-2 at the time. Now coming out of that 8-3, he had no reason to entertain that question. And I applaud Mike T for saying, you know what? Nothing. I ain't even answering that question because it's dumb as shit. First of all, Antonio Brown cannot play in the NFL for free. He can't. And anybody that keeps bringing that up, in tweets and things of that nature, I see it all over the place. They ain't got two brain cells to rub together because you can't play in the NFL for free. It's against the rules. Why people say the shit they say, I don't know. Double tap that screen for us here on Mike Drop Sports and the show Steel City Live. We truly appreciate all of you being here. Back after a couple-day break, needed to digest that football game, and here we are. We are back. Thomas Breeze in the house. Steelers are as bad on Thursday nights as they are good on Monday nights. I'm going to enjoy Hard Knocks. Amen, Thomas. Absolutely. Absolutely. They are bad on Thursday nights. We knew that. I warned you that. Everybody in the chat that knew that record, they were warning you that too, guys. And it just is what it is. You are going to lose. You are going to lose football games. I got to get my Liquid IV cranking, man. My Liquid IV is not in the hopper. I got to load it up. Let's continue to go. Joshua Shields, what's up, man? Good evening, man. Good to see you, brother. Daniel Warman in the house. What's up, my friend? He says the Steelers are a very good team. They will win the AFC North. And that is, in my opinion, is a great achievement. Bless you all. Stay safe. I think the Ravens play Monday night. Yeah, they do. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. I wasn't sure if it was Sunday night or Monday Night Football. But bless you too, Daniel. Appreciate you, man. Stay safe out there, my friend. Matt Burton, Browns are a tough team. Defense is tough. Really just missing a quarterback, and we're on a short week. Yeah, the Steelers, Matt, I'll agree with you. Short week. The Browns were a tough defensive football team, but we're not missing a quarterback, guys. Russell Wilson's got this under control. And I hate to say this, and I've warned you all, the gimmicky shit with Justin Fields, it's getting done to death. And when you don't give him an option to pass, you're limiting that play. And that makes it even 10 times more worse. You don't win championships with gimmicks. And I hope that Mike Tomlin goes back to the drawing board and kind of eases that out and only uses it when it could really be something significant. And I understand maybe he was trying to use it a little bit more in the weather because of the legs of Justin. But I love the way Justin's played this year. This is no knock on Justin Fields. I love how that young man has responded this year. We got to applaud him for that. We got to applaud him for the way he's stepped up, the way he's studied, the way he has been a pro's pro. He deserves to have good things said about him. This isn't a beat-up Justin Fields thing. This is nobody wins championships with gimmicks. It doesn't ever work. Nobody can sit here and say there's a championship football team that was crowned in the past, winning a Lombardi out of running gimmicks and gimmicks to death. No, they just don't. It doesn't work. It works here and there. Gimmicks are for sprinkling it in, man. Let's keep going. Tom Ford, what's up, man? Good to see you, brother. Roberta Campbell says the Browns, I believe, had their bye week before us, just like the Bengals has their bye week before they play the Steelers. Yeah, and one good thing, Roberta, is this is like a mini bye, considering now you had Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Now you have a regular work week. That gives that Steeler team 3 extra days. And if you really think about it, in reality, a bye week, if you stopped on a Sunday and played on a Sunday again, when you restarted, isn't much more time than that. So, this mini bye week is kind of a good build-in here for the Steelers. Roberta Campbell, we did that. Mel Mills, I hate a conspiracy theory. But is it a coincidence that the refs turned their back on us and handed that game to the last place Browns just as Hard Knocks is starting? No, and Mel, you are right. The officiating in that game was brutal. Brutal. There was some really questionable calls in that secondary also that would have been called any other week. But they'll use the excuse it's the AFC North, but we'll let them play. No, you can't control outcomes of football games. And I'm not saying they fully did, but they definitely leaned that a little bit. And I say that every week. That the refereeing is bad, whether it's against the Steelers or not. I watch other teams play, and I say the same damn thing, how bad the referees are, because some of these penalties that they are calling are absolutely egregious. And also, that wasn't, it was illegal touching, but that was an intentional grounding call on Jameis Winston that was missed. That would have been a loss of down and the yardage on that play. So that would have significantly changed that ball game. That could have potentially won the Steelers that game because their kicker sucks ass. Yeah, that could have won. The Steelers could have come out of there easily winning that football game if that one penalty isn't the way it worked out. And people were beating up Mike Tomlin for that. He made the right decision in that situation. I don't want to play 4th and 2 against a team with Nick Chubb. I'm sorry, I don't. I just don't. Let's keep going. Roberta Campbell, I like the mic drop moment for Tomlin. Me too, Roberta. I definitely enjoyed it. Yeah, he does all the time, Roberta, no doubt. Yeah. Mel Mills, I heard a Bengals player guaranteed a win already. Yeah, they can talk shit. The Steelers, they're going to rebound in a big way, guys, barring any weather. Weather plays a significant role, and I know a lot of people like to overlook it a little bit and say, everybody got to play in it. It is what it is. It definitely hinders the play of the games, and it is what it is, and it changes outcomes. It definitely does. Let me get a drink, guys. Yeah, we have Ravens fans, but they don't come in here and talk shit, Inger. They just come in and have good conversation. Tom Ford says, my brother told me a while back that when the Browns play the Steelers, they think as though it's their Super Bowl. Oh, yeah, guaranteed, dude. What do they have to play for, Tom? They ain't got nothing to play for. Guys, I apologize if it's a little bouncy again. I still didn't fix my thing because I walked away from my stuff and left it as it sat. It literally was sitting the same way I left it Thursday after the pregame show. Daniel Warman Mel. Oh, yeah, he was talking to Mel. I'm a Charger fan tonight. Yeah, tomorrow night, Tom. Me too, my friend. Craig Werlow, they need to move TJ around instead of having him coming every time on the same side. Absolutely, Craig. I 1,000% agree, and the time is now. And not only do you move TJ, but you move everybody on that outside. You start a merry-go-round. You start to create eccentric, exotic looks. And is Terrell Austin a good enough defensive coordinator to do that? Absolutely. Is Mike Tomlin a good enough defensive mind to do those things? Absolutely. They just got to step out of their comfort zone and not live in their fears. They got to start playing the way other teams have played in order to get their playmakers freed up and allowed to make some real significant, challenging plays. Inger, I can't even entertain your comments, dude. You know what I mean? The Steelers beat the Ravens because of more than just Justin Tucker. They beat the Ravens because they beat the Ravens and they were the better football team. If there's one thing I learned about that game, it's the Baltimore Ravens are far less of a football team than the Pittsburgh Steelers. And let's be honest, you have Lamar Jackson, who's never going to win you a Super Bowl, my friend. He's not a big game quarterback. He fails you in every big game. Name one that he's won. Please, I'll wait. You can't. And again, the KY Jelly Bowl does not count in college. And I don't even think he won anything like that in college. He didn't even win the bullshit. I'm just telling you, Lamar Jackson is a wonderful regular season quarterback. Lamar Jackson is a very good human being in terms of how he is with the media, how he is in the public. I don't know him personally, but what he portrays out there, he seems like a wonderful young man that deserves a lot of credit for what he's been able to achieve in his life. I'm not knocking Lamar down as a man. I'm knocking him down as what? He cannot win big games. He is not a big game quarterback. It is what it is. I'm sorry, Baltimore Ravens fans, but you won't win a Super Bowl behind Lamar Jackson. I've told you this from the very day you've drafted him. I said this. Yeah, we weren't doing the channel then. We didn't have the channel, so I don't have receipts of it, but I've been saying that since day one about Lamar Jackson. Wonder how much the ref got for that. That's from Roberta. Who knows, Roberta? At what age does GP reach mature adult status? I don't expect him to be Russ, but geez, that's from Thomas Breeze. I think he's made strides towards that this season, Thomas, but he's still got so long to go, and I agree with you. When does this take place? I don't know, but I do think this. Having Russell Wilson there has helped him, and I hope by the end of the season, it helps him enough to get him to that next level of maturity. That's what I hope, Thomas. And I agree. He needs to step it up. And you're right. He doesn't have to be perfect. No one wants GP to be perfect. No one expects anybody to be perfect. But you have to be mature in those big, big moments. And I think GP does at times. And then there's times that he falls apart. And that is what it is, and I'm hoping that it is by the end of this season. But honestly, I don't know if that ever happens. To answer your question, Mel Mills, how about the penalty on Beanie? The receiver dragged Beanie out of bounds, and the penalty was called on Beanie. Yeah, that's another example, Mel. That's another example of a bad 15-yard penalty that hurt the Steelers in a big, big way, and it did. Inger, it's okay. I just want you to make sure you come in and have good conversation, man. That's all. I am a cool guy. Thank you. But we really keep this community talking cool with each other. You can talk shit. Go ahead, man. But just make sure it's like cool. Don't try to rile anybody up. But definitely, you're always welcome here to talk football, whether you're a Baltimore Ravens fan or you're Detroit Lion or 49ers fan. It does not matter. You can be a fan of any team in the NFL. You can join us here and talk football each and every day and have a good time, man. And I don't know the intimate knowledge about a lot of these football teams. I can answer a lot of questions inside of the AFC North and comment on a lot of those teams. But yeah, I don't know every team intimately, and that's why the major media outlets are bad, because they don't know either. And they're commenting on 32 teams and trying to act like experts. And you can't do that. You got to be able to watch a football team very intimately to know what's going on. But that's what we try to do. Everybody throw their comments in, and we try to have a really good time. Tom Ford says, I heard a rumor that the Raiders were looking at Mike Vrabel as their coach. That's who I wanted as Steelers head coach. Yeah, the Vrabes is cool, man. And if Tomlin does decide to go, yeah, Vrabel will be awesome. No doubt about it, but that won't happen. Mike Tomlin is here until Mike Tomlin doesn't want to be here anymore. That's the reality. That's the world we're living in. And whether it's right or wrong, whether you like him, you don't like him, it's all our personal opinions. I have significant issues with him sometimes with the way he handles the game, and how he handled that game Thursday night was not good. It wasn't good. And guys, I've applauded Mike this season at times, but Thursday night's performance wasn't his best. And there's a reason why I say that. You watch the way that they continually go away from the middle of the field. That's hurting the Steelers in a big way. They got to continually attack there. And this offensive line, guys, it's very bad, and I warned you that it was going to be troublesome throughout the back half of this season, and Thursday night it was bad. Now, they are better when they have a little bit more rest and they're not as tore up. They're definitely better, but They scare me. They got to start getting together here really, really quickly. And that does limit the way the coaches can handle this. But Mike Tomlin has done a good job at times, but Thursday was not a good performance. Lamar pick. I guess that's true. He's all right, but Lamar pick 6 Jackson. He's not a bad guy, Inger. He's not, and he's a good regular season quarterback. But when you put Lamar in the big moments, playoffs, big moments inside of the regular season, I'm going to say 19 times out of 20 he doesn't come up a winner, and that's a problem. That's a real problem for Baltimore fans. Roberta Campbell, Vrabel would have to wait at least. What's that? Oh, you're talking about Tomlin. Yeah, he won't be employed that long, Roberta. Craig Werlo, I wouldn't mind seeing TJ Highsmith and Herbig on the field at the same time every once in a while to mix it up. I've been screaming that since the offseason, Craig, too. I agree with you 1,000%. I want to see those exotic defenses, and they have the personnel to make those looks work. But they just choose to live in their fears, quite honest with you, is what Mike Tomlin's, to be quite honest with you. KC nearly got beat. Yes, they did, man. We talked about that a little bit, too. Donald Loudenback, do you really believe Russell Wilson is the answer for this team moving forward? Do you really believe that Russell Wilson is the quarterback for this team moving forward? How far forward, Donald? That's the question. Is he the answer right now? Absolutely, he is. 1,000%. Could he be the answer for 3 seasons total? Absolutely. 100%. He could. Beyond that, no. I won't give you that. And I don't even know if I give you 3 years, but I could give you this year and next year for sure. I could say he's the answer for now. In order for you to do what? Figure out somebody. Justin Fields ain't that guy. Sorry, he isn't. He's going to go somewhere next year and get paid a significant amount of money. And the Steelers are going to start trying to draft somebody. This is how this is going to unfold. And I'll tell you this now. And I can almost lay pretty high odds on this. The Pittsburgh Steelers are going to re-sign Russell Wilson to a 2 to 3 year deal, 30 to 35 million per season, 2 years fully guaranteed. And beyond that, it's just going to be if you're there, you're there. If you're not, you're not. That's what it's going to be. They are going to, in the meantime, try to go through and find a quarterback that is young, out of the draft, not necessarily a high draft pick, but they are going to try to find the answer. That's what they're doing with Russell Wilson. They are going to use him to buy time here over the next couple seasons. That's the reality in which I believe we live right now, guys. Mel Mills, one thing, what the hell is up with both Russ and Justin running out of bounds for a sack? Throw the damn ball away. Yeah, man. I don't like bonehead plays, and I understand the situation. Sometimes those things happen. Sometimes you play out of your head a little bit, and you make those mistakes. But you got to know better as a professional, and they know better. Both of them know better, and I'm not sure why that transpires. But Mel, it bothers the shit out of me. Sidney Wilson, do you feel that Russ has hit a plateau? No, Sidney, I don't feel that way. I just feel like the situation, the circumstances have just dictated the way these games have played out. And I don't believe he's plateaued. I believe that there's still a lot more in the tank. I definitely do. And I think that this offense can definitely grow in some major ways here this season. But we'll continue to see. Hold on, guys. Hold on. That light was bothering the shit out of me. It was just shining and it was like glaring in my face. But no, Sydney, I think that there is significant improvement ahead. I really, really do. You guys got to all remember this, and I want everybody to be reminded of this. The Steelers are in a very difficult stretch of their schedule. Everybody said that at the beginning of the year. I seem to think that they'll be okay. But, again, they're playing high-quality football teams that typically you're not just going to be able to go out there and run the score up on. So you may see this pattern of what Russ is doing now, many more times this season. But that doesn't mean that he's washed or anything. It's just that the Steelers are in competitive games. They're playing big games, big ball games. And that's going to matter, Well, thanks, Edgar. I appreciate it. Roberta Campbell, I saw that too, Tom. We were talking about that. Question: when they show the Hard Knocks, will the footage from earlier this season, or it started here a week ago or a week or two ago, and it's going to be this journey in the back half of the season, especially for the Pittsburgh Steelers, Roberta, because there's so many divisional games. They were hoping that it would be a little bit more highly contested, and that may be a possibility of why maybe some of these games might swing ways you don't think they would swing. But why? They want to make entertaining TV. They want that guap, and they'll do anything that they can to make that happen. And bet your ass, man. I hate to say it, but yeah, you know what I'm talking about, guys. All right, guys, double tap that screen for us here on Steel City Live here on Mic Drop Sports. I'm your host, Jason. As always, we are live talking Steelers, talking NFL football here as Week 12 comes to a close. And it's hard to believe we are already going into Week 13, the week of Thanksgiving, man. That is awesome. Awesome. Thanks, J-Rod. I appreciate you, man. That is awesome, dude. And I want to wish everybody out there, if you're not watching it now, you can watch this later once it uploads. I want to give you a very warm, from the bottom of my heart, for real. I hope you all have a awesome holiday with friends and family, and really have a great time. It's so important, man. Don't waste a day. Just enjoy this. And remember that football will be back for Thanksgiving. It's going to be fun as hell. It's going to be awesome. I just figured out where the light was flickering from. I have a big chandelier up here above me that has like a fan on it. And there is a light bulb in there that must be going bad. And it keeps going boom, boom, boom. So I figured it out. Sorry, not to change the subject. But yeah, happy Thanksgiving to everybody here this week. And it's going to be fun. I'm deep frying a turkey, yo. I love it. I don't do it all the time because I'm afraid I'm burn shit down. But I got that. I got a 14-pounder. I got injection for it. I'm going to inject that bitch up. I got that good peanut oil. Paid that top dollar for it, baby. And I'm going to fill that fryer up and I'm going to rock that thing. And I can't wait. I think these officials are playing FanDuel and draft. They might, Challenger. They might, buddy. No, he already didn't they? I don't know where he'll go, Inger. I'm not sure, man. He was Challenger. Yeah, Craig brings up a very good question. Where is Mike Williams and why aren't they throwing to him? And I warned you again. I know all of you that seen the show the other night. What did I warn you about with Mike Williams? I warned you that this week was probably another week that he was going to have limited targets. And I cautioned you all not to be, though, over the top with it. Because why? This week against the Bengals, you're going to finally start to see that Mike Williams incorporation. You're really going to start to see it. He's going to get targets. He's going to be involved. And it just was the way this thing has went because of why. Coming in right there after the bye, jumping on a moving train, as Mike Tomlin calls it. He is ensuring that Mike is going to know this playbook inside and out and understand the assignment and get that rhythm with Russell Wilson. And I'm telling you, I warned you that it would take 3 weeks. This will be the 4th week, and Mike Williams will be involved. So let's just give it this week, Challenger. I agree with you. I feel like he should be definitely more involved, buddy. Definitely. But just give it this week and let's see what happens because I really believe that he's going to come in here and go full tilt here on Sunday. Thank you. Tom Ford. Where were you, Tom? I was surprised to see Bryce Young playing today. Me too. I didn't get to watch a lot of football. I went out with the wife a little bit. Which is rare. We've had 2 times out here in like a week and a half, 2 weeks. We never get to do that. We've always had little kids. Our like whole time we've been married, we always have little kids, and we don't ever have babysitters for it, or we don't really look for babysitters. But yeah, it's been nice, man. It's been cool. We've got to get out and do some things. Challenger 16. What the hell has happened to Minka? This guy was once an impact player. Now you barely know he's on the field. Yeah, and I've been optimistic, Challenger, about Minka. And last game, I really felt like Minka Fitzpatrick took a significant step back in my eyes. There's been it's been happening, but I've been optimistic about him just getting back on track and really stepping it up. And I understand a lot of people don't throw at Minka, but lately people have been throwing at Minka. And people are ignoring the fact that what? He was getting ate up by tight ends here the last few weeks. He has been. And it's been worrisome. And I wonder too, I don't know what the issue is with Minka. I'm not going to pretend like I do. I have a couple guesses. It's the way he's being used in the scheme, and partially people not throwing at him at times. And I think last year's injuries really set Minka back in a big way. And I just don't think he's been able to recover from those injuries in terms of timing in his football. What do you call it? That just that feel out there on the field to where he reads and reacts quickly. And last season, we can't sit there and say it was just such a horrible year because he played bad. It was just a lot of injuries, and that's what destroyed last season for Minka. And that's why we haven't really seen him, and that's why we feel like he's fell off the face of the earth, man, and he's non-existent. But Minka has to get that feel back, guys. He has to get that football IQ back up to where it was before, where you're not thinking, you're just doing. You're reading, reacting. And that's where Minka got to get back to that, and he's not there yet. And my hope for him is just like my hope for GP. By playoff time, I hope Minka's back in full tilt Minka mode. That's all we can hope for. But again, I think last year those injuries really slowed him down, and his know-how, his just read and reactability is just slowed from all those injuries, and not playing a significant amount of time has hurt him. Russ is one and done because of money. I don't think so, Roberto. I think he'll take 30 to 35 million, and the Steelers will do that in a heartbeat for Russell Wilson. Donald Loudenback, Najee. Do you see Najee getting extension? No, I don't, Donald. And I just believe that the Steelers won't pay what somebody else will. They see what Najee, other teams have seen what Najee Harris does, and they'll pay him, and he's going to be somewhere else next year. Unless the offers don't come rolling in. Because honestly, guys, Najee did have 3 or 4 nice games here in a row. But let's face the facts. Najee still has his deficiencies also. He tries to be somebody he's not a lot of the time, and that's a Barry Sanders dancing around, spinning, hurdling people type runner. And that costs him yards sometimes. And then he realizes and wakes up at certain points of the game and realizes that he's a back that should be running downhill, exploding through holes, not trying to be some finesse runner, and he gets yards and he starts to move the ball. And then all of a sudden he'll snap back into trying to be, somebody he's not. And that's the issue with Najee. And I've preached it all year, all last year. You guys know me. Najee's biggest problem is his inconsistency. And what's his inconsistency come from? It's not offensive line. It's not coaching. It's none of those things. It's Najee Harris trying to be somebody he's not. That is what makes him inconsistent. And the Steelers see it. If I can see it, the Steelers see it. And I think that might be a problem for them. And it's a problem for me. I know that. No, Sean isn't here tonight, Roberta. He'll be back next week. He had to work during the game, and then I got home a little bit later, and I just decided it's Thursday, or it's start of Thanksgiving week, so we'll get Sean back next week, let him enjoy his family on his off time this weekend, and we'll get back to it with Sean and I next weekend for Steelers pre- and post-game here live on Mike Drop Sports, the show Steel City Live. Mel Mills says, whoever wins the division will apparently have Hard Knocks follow them into the offseason. I would love to see Steelers postseason documented. Yeah, I think, yeah, Mel, that's whichever teams in the AFC North make the postseason, Hard Knocks will continue to follow them through the postseason journey. Their hopes is what? that they get somebody that represents them in the Super Bowl for the AFC out of the AFC North. Why? Because that's going to make them what? Money. That increases the ratings, that increases the amount of shows. And I'm going to go out on a wild limb here. And I know everybody says Chiefs, Chiefs, Chiefs. They have one loss. They're steamrolling. They're the odds-on favorite to three-peat, which is unheard of in the NFL. I'm going to go out on a limb here. Either the Pittsburgh Steelers or the Baltimore Ravens make it to the Super Bowl here in 2024. And I'm not saying that because, they're just that much better of a football team. I'm saying because the NFL might prove me right in the way I think it might be rigged at times. And I think that they would love nothing more than to be able to have extra Hard Knock shows. Think about that. Put that in your back pocket. And just remember that I said that. Roberta Campbell, I wish you all a happy Thanksgiving, and hopefully we all look at everything we have to be thankful. Absolutely, we have so much to be thankful for, guys. Even when life's tough, everything works out, man. Everything always works out. Remember that. I've been trying to live by that motto. Everything will always work out. So don't ever get overly frustrated. If you're having a tough time in life, just remember, it will get better. It will. It will get better. And it may not be the way you want it to get better, but it will get better and things will be okay. But here's another thing. You just can't sit around and do nothing and think everything will get better. You got to work. Work, work, work. And that's what this Pittsburgh Steelers team is going to do. They're not going to sit down and just expect wins to come like last year when Minka said, hey, people think just because they wear the black and gold that wins just happen, that we're going to be just good without the work. No, this football team's way different. They're going to put in that work, and they're going to keep grinding and getting better. And this football team is going to go on one of those magical runs, and I want you to really, really pay attention. Think Trice plays this week? I do, Craig. Activated, his window's open, and I do think Corey Trice here plays in Week 13 for your Steelers against the Cincinnati Bengals. I think he will be a welcomed addition. You can never have too many defensive backs in a pass-happy league like the NFL. Roberta Campbell, I think they seem to be throwing a lot of flags on Minka, too. They throw a lot of flags on everybody, Roberta. I don't know what it is. I don't. Short of controlling and dictating the way games are played and won and lost, I can't think of any reason to throw some of these flags that they're throwing. All right, guys, make sure you're double tapping that screen, hitting that like button for us here on Steel City Live. We appreciate it here on a Sunday night. We are back after a couple days off. We appreciate it. Craig Werlow, think Hayward's been amazing this year. I do, Craig. I think Ironhead Hayward, man, that's what I like to call him. Big Cam. I think he's played really, really well. Do you think Justin Fields will come off the bench from Inger? He already has. He already has at times. Do I think he takes the starting job from Russell? No. Najee is too inconsistent. Yes, I agree. Tom Ford says, Jason, why do you think the reason is the Steelers have played bad in Cleveland this past decade? You get in those weird spots, Tom, and you get in your head, and it doesn't matter who's on the roster, that cloud still hovers over them. And sometimes you get in those ruts, and it's just part of the weirdness, the psyche that, sometimes happens. And it's the NFL, and those things definitely happen. Hold on, guys. I'm going to break that fucking light. I swear to God, man. I've been angry lately. Yep, ratings and money. Absolutely, Roberta. The Chiefs are showing cracks in some of their warts. Absolutely, Roberta. You ain't lying. Matt Burton says Super Bowl, Bills or Steelers versus Detroit. I could see that, Matt. I could see that. Thankful we're not Browns fans. Amen, man. It could be worse. At Thanksgiving, make sure you guys say, I am thankful I am not a Dallas Cowgirl fan, and I am not a Cleveland Browns fan, and my life is complete. Do you think that Pat Meyer is the reason this O-line is consistently bad from Donald Loudenback? No. Why I think this offensive line is bad right now? It has a lot of young pieces and a lot of pieces that are going to take some time to get it together. And I think we are just witnessing growing pains. Now, I think Pat Myers had some bad offensive lines due to just not having the personnel. in past years, but I think you are just witnessing the growing pains of one Broderick Jones, of Zach Frazier, of Mason McCormick. You're witnessing that. And you have two veterans on the line, really. Well, one that's not even really that big of a, that tenured of a veteran. And that's just the way it is. I just think we're watching growing pains. What do you think about the end of the Cowboys game today? I did not watch it, Anger. I could not tell you, man. I was thinking myself that the NFL was at least partially scripted. I think it's starting to show a little bit. I love Cam from Roberta. Me too. All right, guys, double tap that screen here before you leave here on Steel City Live. We appreciate all the views here tonight. We have been hovering in consistent viewership. Appreciate that. It's been awesome. Thank you so much. If you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. We're going to wrap this up. My first one back after a couple days off, it strains me a little bit, so hard to talk for a whole hour. But we are back tomorrow. You will have your daily upload in the morning, and it's going to be a banger. So make sure you watch that tomorrow morning. And also, we will be back tomorrow night at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for Steel City Live here on the channel, here on Mike Drop Sports. We truly, truly appreciate you, and we'll be back tomorrow, guys. So peace, my friends. Thank you so very much.